How the other day, I was just talking to Justin, how relieved were you when you found out that your quarterback was a minor injury and not, like a disaster?
Yeah, I was very relieved. After knowing him for the past decade, damn near now, it's always like, when's he gonna be back out there with him? He's just a tough cat. He's never out too long. He broke his ribs against Clemson in college, and I don't know if he missed a play. So he's just that type of guy. So for me, it's always like, if Justin go down, I know it's likely serious if he leave the field, and because of that, I was very relieved to see him, the next day trying to get reps again.
How do you feel like it's been going with this offense, getting to know the new scheme and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. There's been a lot of ups and downs to it, which is what it's all about. This time of the year is for that. I feel like we're progressing in the right way. I feel like we might have took a little step back today as far as our execution and just finishing plays, but that's bound to happen. We got a good defense on the other side of us. They're learning, they're getting better too in their new scheme, and we're just gonna keep building on this thing. But I'm definitely excited for what it can look like, and we're just gonna keep building this chemistry, building up, exactly where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there, and all of a sudden it'll be beautiful in the end.
What do you think you have to get there? What do you think the offense can look like?
That's a Whalers hat?
Yeah.
You
know how I do.
I know. What do I think it can look like? I think it can be, I think it can be explosive, man. It's something that's going to be very complimentary. The better we can run the ball with especially the running backs we got, and Justin's ability to run the ball, and Tyrod, I mean, the more push we can get, the more we can run the ball on second and short and convert. That stuff's just going to open up everything for us, So as a receiver room, we're really excited to just see how this thing progresses, see how it all complements each other, and by the time we get into the season, hopefully we're rolling. Y'all can see that too.
Getting rolling. Do you have to be rolling by week 1, Garrett, or is that something that might take a few weeks to get going because there's so many new pieces on this offense, new coordinator?
No, I mean, ideally, we're rolling by week 1. We've been at it since April. We got a week head start on this thing. We did that for a reason, right? We got to find a way to be playing good football and executing by week 1. And the beautiful thing about that is we still got 5-6 weeks to figure that out and make that happen. But yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. If we go into it trying to giving ourselves that leeway in week 1, and all of a sudden it might be week 8. You know what I'm saying? So week 1 is the deadline. We got to be rolling.
Garrett, what have you seen from Mason Taylor?
He's a dog. It's consistent work. It's the best way I can put it. He's got great hands, trusts his hands, and he finds a way to be open when he needs to be. And then ball finds him, and he makes a play, which is, for a position like that, he's as good as I've seen, just making the play, finishing the play, being open, and that's a position where if you can do that for a long time, you're going to make a lot of money. So I think he's got a bright future ahead of him, and he's really going to help us this year because he's a great player. Came in ready.
It did seem like y'all had some things rolling in that 2-minute offense there today. Just kind of what was clicking there?
Just playing fast, not thinking as much, just getting up on the ball, rolling. What we ended up scoring on a corner to Mason. Just executing, right? I got to be on my stuff during that period, and that goes for all the guys out there, and I think we did. We hadn't had a good practice leading up to that point, so you want to finish detailed, you want to finish well, you want to finish with the touchdown, and that's what we did. It was a good way to finish it.
What has been the biggest adjustment for you in the offense? Is it the routes, the terminology, in terms of learning it and getting to where you want to be by week 1?
Just the terminology. It's the ones you struggle with are the ones that meant a different thing and the same thing but a different word in the different offense, right? And that was, it doesn't seem like it, but that was just like six months ago. So initially it was like 2-3 months ago in OTAs. It took a little while. I'm past that now, and I feel good about this offense. But it was just the terminology, and as things start to simmer down a little bit as far as the install, I'm getting even more comfortable and can go out and play fast, and now it's just about mastering those details, which I got some work to do, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You try and find a way to get 1% of each day, and for me, that's got to be the case.
With your route running, you've always been a guy who's relied on your natural instincts. Does this offense require, do you have to adjust that at all, just be more precise in that route?
I feel like you always want to be in the right spot where your quarterback's expecting you, and that comes with the detail-oriented route running mindset. Since my first day in the league, I've had to lose some of the things that I maybe did well, or some of my feel things, and that's okay, because this is a very timing, spot predicated league, and the defenses all adjust based on what they've seen for hundreds of years with offenses, right? So with that, it's been my job since my first day in this league to always balance that with what I'm being asked to do and what the quarterback's expecting me to do. And every year, sadly, it's been, or not sadly, but just been the case of it's been a little different details with some new staff. So it changes, and I just got to keep finding a way to master that and being on it.
We talked about Aaron changing the culture and things like that. Through camp, what have you seen that's maybe a little different than what you've experienced, your first few years in the league?
Yeah, just the competitiveness. Not just talking about being competitive. Like, no, you got to train that way. It's got to feel like that at practice. It's got to feel like if you lose, it sucks at practice. It can't just be, we'll turn it on when the game comes, right? And I think that's the main thing that I see that's different. Just the way we're practicing, the intensity, the stakes. It feels like there's stakes. Depending on which period it is, the stakes feel higher based on whether it's a competition red zone or a 2-minute. It feels like you won the drill when you won the drill, right? And it feels like you lost when you lost. And to me, that's how I like it. It's practice, yes, but there's also an opportunity to practice winning and get that feeling and what it takes to just do it, right, on a consistent basis. And I think it starts out here. So that's something that I love to be a part of. And throughout these first couple months, I've seen it, for sure, with the way he's hammering home stuff in meetings.
Just a couple the open field tackling drills you guys did yesterday going to the ground.
Yeah.
And you did some Saturday where it wasn't going to. It's been a long time.
Saturday was a joke.
Been a long time since we've seen those around here. What did you think of those, and having those at training camp?
I love it. I think you got to, it goes with everything else. You got to practice winning. You got to practice losing. If you want to be good at tackling, you got to practice tackling. If you want to be good at making people miss, you got to practice making people miss. So me personally, I love it. Just find a way to keep everyone healthy, and you can tackle the right way. You got good technique, you'll do that. Saturday was cool. I feel like they did the defense a disservice having it the way it was on Saturday, because they was just running up, two-hand swiping, whole crowd going crazy. Nah, that ain't it. And then yesterday it was reality a little bit, So, that's a good thing. Make it hard on them, and it is. And all of a sudden we'll start seeing the defense win more of those reps, and that's when we know we're becoming a better tackling team, right? So I think it's a good thing. I love it. Competition,
What's it been like getting to know Aaron away from the field too? I know he talks about he likes to have guys feel free to come into his office.
Yeah, I mean, you could truly just chop it up with him. It doesn't feel like you having like coach talk or like, I don't know what the word is, but you're just chatting, right? Talk about stuff, and honestly, the main thing for me is like when I talked to him, and initially going back to our first chat, I realized he was a Texas dude, and then like being a smaller guy, like that's me, right? So we've got a lot of ideology that goes back to his time playing and being part of the Jets, being from Texas, A&M guy, like that I didn't realize we were gonna have in common, right? And then just the expectation for when we're out on the field, how it's supposed to look, how it'll get on my ass if I put a ball on the ground or don't run with details. That's what this thing is. That's what I miss from college, and having to do it yourself, making sure that you're that hyper focused on it yourself is fine, right? But when you got someone else to maybe push you on that a little bit more and not let you slip up on that stuff, it's valuable. And I want to make sure I don't miss my moment while it's going on right now. Take it all in and try and make sure I'm really honing in on these details. At the end of the day, he was a DB, so if he watches me and says, "Hey, you rose up," or "That route wasn't that," like he's got the same mindset as the dudes I'm gonna be going against, right? So it's valuable info, and he's got a lot of them, a lot of valuable info, a lot of valuable nuggets that all of the guys are just trying to take in right now and see how he likes things done. Does he ever tell me how good he was? I kind of know. He ain't got to say too much. Whenever we were down in Texas talking, he was like, "I ain't been down here," and we were in Austin, and he was like, "I ain't been down here. The last time I was down here, I had a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? And like that's one of those subtle flexes, right? Like, I guess he did it at DKR you know, where Texas plays at. He picked six them, went with like 99, 100 or something like that. So, like, stuff like that. Now, he ain't got to say too much. I already know what time he was on with that. Smaller dude. What, he's a top 10 pick? Like, what was he? 11? 14. Yeah. So, for a cornerback, you know, like that, he ain't got to say too much, you know. He's stamped. So.